They're so sweet.
Christian Arcand.
What makes you the authority, bro?
Christian and King.
I know what the good is.
Welcome to the goodie room.
Weekdays noon to 3 on ESPN New Hampshire Radio. Streaming live on ESPNNewHampshireRadio.com.
So what? So what? So let's dance.
Now, here's Christian Arcand and Tom King.
Third and final hour, Christian and King, ESPN New Hampshire, streaming live on the ESPN Radio app and on ESPNNHradio.com. I'm Christian Arcand, Tom King in here as well. As we wrap things up before it is time for a little VACATION, right, Tom?
Final hour.
The final hour. Let's make this hour as long as it can possibly go.
Final hour.
Let's just start counting the seconds until the hour's over. And we'll take
58 minutes.
We'll take commercial breaks. 58 times 60, that's just about, it's something, I don't know, math. Anyways, what's 60 times 60? Math whiz.
3,600.
3,600. So 3,600 seconds, give or take a few. We'll just count them down.
Yeah.
35.99, 35.98.
35.97.
I could do this just to make your vacation, just to postpone
like something
it.
that I would do.
That does sound like something you would do.
Exactly.
I'm coughing the whole show.
See,
I'm doing things that you would do.
My
This is
vacation
awful.
doesn't start here. It starts after that game tonight at home.
Oh, I see. That's right. Yeah, you got Holman tonight.
Yeah, but there's no Telegraph tomorrow. But the story will be online. So what I do is I write it with no pressure.
They're not putting out a paper tomorrow?
No, we don't publish on the 4th, New Year's Day, Christmas Day, and Memorial Day.
Really?
Yeah. And Labor Day, I believe. I think Labor Day is the same.
You don't put a paper out on Labor Day?
I don't think so. We don't
What kind of half-ass operation is this?
We don't labor.
Come on. I thought it was the pay. It's like the mail, you know? You don't just stop. The news doesn't stop.
Well, we have the online.
Right.
So, but that's, hey, look, I don't make these decisions. These were made years ago.
Couldn't have been that long.
Yeah, it was. It's been a while.
How long have you not put out a newspaper on Labor Day? Come on.
I got to say 6 or 7 years.
Okay, well, not that long then.
It was a while ago.
Well,
Yeah.
fine, but it's certainly like in the 90s or 80s or even back, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't take a day off.
Yeah, well,
the news doesn't take days off,
newspaper
Tom.
business has changed.
It certainly has.
Right, because you know why? Because you had the online publication.
Right. That's true.
Right. So tonight what I do is I write a story and I post it online.
Gotcha. All right.
So any typos that are in there, you can blame me because I have to edit my own typos.
Oh, boy.
I know, huh?
Yeah, business has changed. that's for
Yes, it sure has.
That didn't used to be how it was,
No.
but there you go. There is a report up on ESPNBoston.com.
Oh, go ahead. But before I do
Well,
that.
now, please interrupt me
right,
first.
Right. One more thing.
Yes.
Because Justin asked me to do this. The fireworks again. The fireworks
right.
in I don't know what they're doing in Manchester. You should
Manchester,
probably
they
check.
got postponed too, I think.
They did? All right. But in Nashua, they are postponed until Saturday night.
I don't know when they're postponed to in Manchester, but I do know that they are not going to be happening
I would imagine
tomorrow.
the same thing.
It's got to be Saturday, yeah.
It's got to be.
Saturday's only Boston's dumb enough to push it up a day.
Weekend's supposed to be beautiful. Yeah, I would have thought
So
Saturday
stupid.
would have been the thing, but I think they were afraid that the ground would be too wet for the people that camp out on or something like that. Maybe?
No one camps out there.
They all
You
do.
sit there for a few hours and then you go home. It's not like
no.
you're spending the night.
Oh no, they go down there. They stay overnight down there.
Who does? I've never seen anyone do that.
Oh yeah.
And
You've
the
never
Esplanade
heard
for the
you-
4th of July?
You've never heard of that happening before?
And even if they do, big deal. You can't sleep on a little bit of soggy earth? My God.
I guess not.
What kind of camper are you anyway? Not you, but I mean, who are these people that go out and camp and are going to
No,
sleep
I don't.
overnight
You know, I don't camp.
outside next to a dirty river and then instead I can't do it. It's a little soggy on the ground. Please.
I was just, it was supposed to be really heavy downpour.
Sure.
So. But that's the deal, I guess. So that's what. Now they said that they might split it up if there's any danger of rain tonight, which there is not supposed to be. So all that's supposed to start tomorrow. Go ahead.
Very
What were you
good.
gonna say?
There's a report up on ESPN Boston right now, the Red Sox report, and it has some quotes from Ben Cherington, who appeared on, I think, Dennis and Callahan this morning.
All about John Lester.
Talking about not just John Lester, but the team in general. And he had this to say. He said, I think we all felt like we had a chance to maybe start building some momentum, and it just didn't happen, Cherington said. We're trying to figure out the next right decision. We know this is not where we want to be. If it's going to get better, it's got to get better quickly. We're just focused on that. Everyone's on board trying to do the same thing. I think quickly is the key word there. If it's going to get better, it's got to get better quickly. Well, what needs to happen quickly? What's coming up soon? Trade deadline. right?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's what I think. When he says this has to change quickly, I don't think he's assuming that Xander Bogaerts is suddenly going to snap out of his slump and Dustin Pedroia is going to hit like a 3-hitter and Jackie Bradley Jr. is not going to suck out loud and all the rest of these things. I don't think that's what he means by this all has to change quickly.
Well,
I think what he's saying is there's going to be changes on this team soon.
Let's see. All right. You're Ben Cherington and the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to approach John Lester?
What the hell was
with
that?
the idea somebody's having fun outside.
That was outside?
That was outside.
Wow.
That's pretty
That
loud.
was a lot of fun. Could you hear? I heard that loud and
because
clear.
we don't have open windows here.
No, we don't.
No, you can hear it through the glass. Yeah.
That sounded like the Joker was
Well,
just attacked Gotham City.
They knew what I was about to say.
Oh, what was that?
That they approached John Lester and say, John, all right, if we don't we're not going to get a contract done right away. We both know that. We still want to sign you, but would you object to going to pitch somewhere else for half a year? In other words, go to another team, trade him.
We'll trade you.
We'll trade you to another team, and you pitch, and then just give us a chance to sign. You know, we'll compete with everybody else to sign you when you're a free agent. We're gonna have to do it anyway. You know.
Yeah.
I mean if I were them, I would.
You know what I think that plan is?
Not great, Bob.
Well, for the Red Sox, it could work out.
If you trade him, don't re-sign him. I mean, the whole thing of re-signing him or signing him in the offseason is what is the reason why I think you should trade him. So you don't have to do that. You don't trade him in that. I mean, yes, it would be better for the team if you kept him around, but to what extent? Maybe 1 year,
it'd be
2
better
year.
for the team.
If you brought him back, I mean.
No. What I'm saying is, all right, look you don't think you're going to be able to sign him before the season ends. He's going to test free agency.
Right.
What do teams usually do in that case?
What do teams do when
in that case when they know they can't sign a guy and then trade?
They try and trade him.
Right. So trade him somewhere.
Right. Knowing that when the free agency comes around,
they go right.
We're going to swoop right back in and take you. Now,
right.
what other team is going to be a part of that? That'll trade for John Lester for half a year, knowing that he's probably going to go back to the Red Sox after.
A lot of teams will. Well, no, they won't know that he's going back to the Red Sox. You don't even make your agreement. You don't even make the agreement with John that that you're going to re-sign him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you just trade him. You trade him.
Didn't someone do this once?
You trade. It's happened before.
Yeah, someone did this. Someone in the Yankees did this, didn't they?
I don't know if the Yankees ever
didn't.
Did it.
Who was it?
Somebody did it, but that's you just compete with everybody else like you're going to have to. All right, nothing changes about the free agency situation.
Right.
You're going to have to compete with him. You just don't have that window to sign him before everybody else can.
So you make your trade, you get whatever you can for him now.
Yep.
You play out the rest of the season.
In other words, in something that I would understand in food relevance, you have your cake and eat it too.
Indeed.
There you go.
And that's true, but
you're taking a risk.
You are taking the risk.
But you're taking a risk. You're taking a risk letting him go to free agency anyway.
You are. And my main problem with all of this in the first place is that how much money are we really talking about to spend on a guy who's going to be 37 at the end of the contract, or 38, or 39, or whatever it is?
That's
the big issue. I mean,
right.
that much money
so
for a guy his age.
Your question is whether to re-sign him or not.
Yeah, I'm sort of right there. I feel like if you trade him, that's it. Buy John Lester. You're not going to get into the mix and outbid the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Braves.
It depends on what you want to do.
I just don't see that happening.
I
think it's certainly a possibility. Anything's possible, but I just don't see it.
So you deal him away.
Yeah, I mean,
say goodbye.
Well, I don't know if you deal him away necessarily either. Right now.
Well, then you just let him. Then you just keep him and let him go to the end of the year.
Keep working on an extension.
I don't think he's going to do it.
Maybe not.
He'd be nuts to do
it. I wouldn't have floated the 471 first.
He would be nuts to do it.
He would.
Stay and go to free agency. I think any ball player who has a chance to test free agency should do it if they're having a decent year.
I say either deal him now and get what you can, or, well, yeah, I guess you have to. I guess that's pretty much where we're at.
You got to do it.
Yeah. You got to deal him.
If you're at the trade deadline and you're as bad as they are now, and it just doesn't look like you're going to get any better, you got him and Koji. Bye.
What do you get, though?
Well,
what are people going to offer for a half a year of John Lester, knowing that they're going to have to sign him to outrageous money? I mean, you're only going to have a few teams that are even seriously be in the mix for it, right?
True.
And anybody who wants to try and re-sign him at the end has to be a team that's contending.
I agree. I mean, that's again, you see what's out there. If it's not worth it, you don't do it.
Right. So those are the
See,
two
the Red
big
Sox-
ships, John
Charrington's-
Lester and Koji Uehara.
Charrington's position today was that John Lester knows our intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that we want to keep him.
Right, for 470.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, and Lester has said, I think Lester, I don't know if he's gone on the record and said this, but I think he said, I'm probably just going to test the market. I'm not going to, we're not going to do a contract the second half of the year. Not going to negotiate.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then just go, you might as well deal him and then see if you can, put in a bid to re-sign him.
The
That's
trade
it.
deadline is July 31st. That is under a month away. Red Sox are certainly running out of time. If things are worse than they are right now at the end of this month, I could see him getting moved. Him and Koji. I could see them both going.
I'm on vacation during that trade deadline. Won't be around to talk about it.
Oh. Good. So I just get one just total arcand slant is what you're going to get on the trade deadline.
Exactly.
Basically that whole time.
But that's the interesting thing. Yeah, I mean, Uehara as well. I mean, he could be he definitely be dealt. If they're out of it, if they feel, all right, you have a week to go before the trade deadline.
Right.
That's when you're making your decision, sell or buy. Don't see you buying. Because what do you got to sell?
Well,
what do you got
you're
to
a seller or a buyer. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, you got to give something up. You got to give some of
Red
those
Sox have lots of assets. They
have a lot of prospects, but you know what? They've been holding the fort for those prospects for a while to use them to play for them, not to trade
to a
them.
certain extent. But some of them have already kind of come up and failed. So I mean,
you want to trade? Well, I think with prospects, you got to give them 3 years.
You give Jackie Bradley Jr. another year and a half.
I'd give him another year.
I think I've seen all I need to see with him at the plate anyway.
You don't think he's that good? Why? What?
He sucks.
Yeah,
he can't hit anything, Tom. I mean, at the major league level, he's not hit ever. I mean, he's just not done it.
Nava can't hit anything now either.
That's
but last
true.
year he was hitting he was hitting all over the place.
You're right.
So you don't
Just
know.
very curious now when you think about it.
You
Yeah.
go year to year with some of these guys until they get comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So with Jackie Bradley Jr., I don't know. I think I want to give him another year. The Cubs made that decision. Theo Epstein knew that the veterans he had on that team when he got there were horrible. You got to get rid of them.
Right.
So you got to have players to play. So they have basically brought up all their young players and put them in the lineup and say, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Get old fast.
And they all hit home runs last night, every single one of them.
Pretty much. Get old fast. But, you can take your time for a while, but, start to develop here. And who knows, 2 or 3 years from now, they may be the better for it.
Yeah.
It's going to take them a couple more years.
Someone named Jesse Rogers of ESPN Boston posted this. Lester could make sense for the Cubs in 2015. Lester, a longtime favorite of the Cubs' current front office when Theo Epstein ran the Red Sox for a decade, signed him to a 5-year extension worth $30 million in 2009, including a team option for $14 million for this season. Now at age 30, Lester is likely a free agent for the first time in his career. Lester said of Theo Epstein, they always treated me with the utmost respect and class. I have nothing but good things to say about them. If you're in a position to do your homework, he said about free agency, obviously there's the familiarity with those guys, talking about the Cubs.
Right.
That's kind of predicting the future and possibly putting my foot in my mouth, which I don't want to do. He's out the door. He's gonzo. I don't think he's coming back. I think he's gone, and unless the Red Sox blow him away, I think he'll take another offer to go somewhere else just to stick it back to him. With the because of the 470.
Because of the 470.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because of the Lucchino offer.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that those are the words, and I'm reading them. I'm not hearing him say it, so I mean, take that for what it's worth. But as I read through this and I hear they always treated me great, I've got nothing but good things to say about the freaking Cubs. And if you're in the position to do your homework, obviously there's familiarity with them. That's predicting the future. Don't want to put my foot in my mouth. Well, yeah, because someone other than the Cubs might blow you away with an offer, and maybe the Cubs will, maybe they won't. Can't imagine that they're really going to go crazy for John Lester and start, giving him Scherzer money or Kershaw money or any sort of money like that. I just don't see it. But
we know who's going to go. We know who's going to dive into that John Lester.
They're going to dive into it.
Yeah,
and they're going to dive in head first like Pete Rose. I mean, it's going to be
no doubt about it.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, they're going to be all over that, and they need. First of all, they need him more than the Red Sox do. They need John Lester more than the Red Sox do right now. The Red Sox pitching rotation is okay, and they have good pitching prospects coming up through the system. I'm okay with the Red Sox pitching staff. That's why I'm also sort of okay with losing John Lester. But trade him. Don't just let him walk. Get something out of him.
So you want to trade him?
I think that makes the most sense.
Do you want to trade him even if they're competitive? Even if say they're within 5 games of a wild card or 5 games of first place, in the AL East.
5 games.
Come-
Well, those could be the same thing.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
not necessarily, but one of the
Well,
one
they
of the
could be, but yeah.
one of the other, one of the other, or say they're 5 games out of a
At July
postseason
31st?
spot somewhere somehow. Yeah, what do you do?
Well,
Dun, 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 dun,
depends.
dun,
Depends what the
dun.
offense has been doing all month. If the offense suddenly turns it around and they take off and they have a great month of July, fine. Keep Lester around. Maybe you win another
Well,
World
if they're
Series.
5 games out, they've been doing something right because they're what 9.5 out now or
Yeah.
10.5 out, whatever they are. So they're doing something right,
Well, they could win.
Or
They
somebody's
could win
doing-
a couple games 2-0.
or somebody's doing something wrong.
Right. I'm saying this: if the offense doesn't pick it up and the pitching continues to perform the way it is, you trade John Lester. If the offense does pick it up and they start winning games and they go on a big tear in the month of July, which we have all seen happen before, the Red
Oh,
Sox are very good historically in the month of July. I feel like
You're out. You're done. You don't think that's going to happen?
I'm out. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Right.
I think this offense is damaged beyond repair at this point, and I think there's just too many holes in the lineup and too many automatic outs. And John Lester could maybe fetch something in return in a trade that might patch up some of those holes in the lineup. I don't know about anything long-term or substantial like that. I mean, you're not going to get a Giancarlo Stanton for John Lester, no question about that. Even if you threw in Koji, you're probably not getting him. But the idea, I guess, is that you get someone in who can do something, an outfielder who can hit a little bit, who can hit 280 and give you 25, or not 25, but maybe 20 home runs. 280, 20 home runs from an outfielder would be just magical right now,
I don't
wouldn't
think
it?
that's going to happen in a trade
Maybe not.
because I don't think the teams are going to be giving that up.
Yeah, it's amazing. Isn't it amazing how few good hitters there are in the whole league now?
The only thing you're going to get for Lester is prospects.
You think?
Well, look at it this way.
No one major league ready?
You're a contending team. The only
Red
people,
Sox are? The
no,
other-
no.
Okay.
The only people who are going to try to get John Lester are teams that are contenders.
Mm-hmm. Dodgers are contenders. They got a bunch of extra outfielders.
Extra outfielders, yeah, all right.
You trade Kemp or Ethier or Carl
No, they're not
Crawford
gonna-
or one of those
they're
guys.
not going to trade Kemp.
Kemp's having not a great year.
Yeah, but they're not going to trade him.
Maybe they will.
Plus, his contract is, you don't want that contract.
Kemp's contract? Hell no. You don't, but they would love to unload it. You kidding
Oh,
me?
they would love to, but they're not going to.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to take it.
Well,
All right. I mean,
Red Sox could use the help. Let's be honest here. I mean, Matt Kemp makes a lot of sense for this team.
Ooh, not that contract.
Not the contract. I'm saying the player.
But they'll never take on the contract.
How do you know what they will or won't do?
Because
they'll eat some money to get this offense back on track. Of course they would. Are you kidding me?
Won't. They dealt those contracts away a while ago.
Right.
Listen, their plan.
And they use the money to shore up on with the prospect. Now you go out and you spend a little bit. I don't see any problem with that. You can't just do one thing all the time.
No.
The Red Sox suddenly become very fiscally
The plan.
stingy, then that's not going to work.
See, Kemp's got a Carl Crawford-like contract, right?
Yeah, he does.
Right.
It's huge.
They don't want those. They dealt those away. They got rid of those for a reason. They
Well,
don't
because
want-
Carl Crawford sucks.
No, they don't want them. They don't want those contracts.
Well, what about Dustin Pedroia? They gave him a nice, big, fat, long-term
It was
contract.
less than what he would get on the open market.
7 year, fine. It's still a big contract.
But it wasn't,
They
you
say
know-
they don't believe in these long-term contracts, except when they give them to Dustin Pedroia.
What's his annual? What's the total money there?
Jeez.
I mean,
Look it up
it's
if you want.
but I mean, it's not Carl Crawford like.
No, it's not.
No, exactly. Kemp's is. So they're not gonna get Kemp back. They're not gonna take on that contract. The thing is, what they did was they got rid of those big contracts.
Pedroia's making 12.5, 13, 15, 16, 15, 13, 12.
That's fine.
For a second baseman, that's
Yeah,
pretty.
no,
that's pretty substantial.
Yeah, what's Cano? Look at Cano.
Well, yeah, Cano's
Yeah, right.
obviously the
Right, but I mean-
other than those two. I mean, come on.
Right, but look at Cano's. I mean, Cano's making way more than that. All right,
True.
they got
Cano's making more than
they got-
almost everybody in the league.
They got Pedroia at a bargain. All right, at a relative bargain. Now, listen.
Carl Crawford's making 21.5 a year.
Yeah,
for the rest.
exactly. See, it's apples and oranges. The plan
Matt
is
Kemp, not Crawford.
See, the plan is all right. Well, Crawford's probably the same thing.
Crawford's like 50.
You
Yeah.
know, all right. The plan. See, I made this point. Was it yesterday or a couple of days ago?
I don't know, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, exactly. It was with D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
And it was they have that plan. And D'Onofrio said he knew what I would say. What I would say was stick to that plan.
Mm.
The plan was dump the big contracts, okay? Re-sign some of your own guys to below market but respectable contracts, and sign some free agents to short term, a little bit more money than normal, but short term, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Guys like Victorino, guys like Napoli, all those guys, And when they're up, they're out of here.
Yeah.
And you've got the young players ready.
Yeah.
What they didn't anticipate happening was winning a World Series with those bums, with the guys that they signed at basically stopgap. They did, because they had career years. The chemistry was right, and everything. It was one of those magical seasons where everything worked out. All right? But the question is, even though they won the World Series, do you ignore that and stick to the plan you had? And I say they should do that, because look what's happening now.
Yeah.
You know, so if they're going to stick
This
to
is part of the plan, though, isn't it? I mean,
no. Well, the part of the plan was, the plan was somewhere in between.
What they do in the offseason, if not stick to the plan, that's exactly what they did. They signed old A.J. Pierzynski to be a placeholder for the Vasquez kid.
But what I'm saying is you stick to the plan. If you stick to the plan, you don't bring in Matt Kemp.
Okay, but if the plan is to lose for a couple of years and you just won a World Series, what's more important, the plan or this window of times where you might be able to actually win the World Series because you got a great pitching staff?
Well, see, that's
by the time all these kids grow up, who knows what the pitching staff's going to look like? Right now, it's good enough to win.
What I'm telling you is you think that they can win a World Series because they did it last year. All right?
Yeah.
Last year was I call it a fluke.
Okay.
All right? I think it was a fluke. It wasn't what they were counting on. It wasn't part of the plan. The plan was to win it maybe 2 years from now.
How do you win the World Series? Pitching, right? You think this team pitching staff is good enough to win a World Series this year?
Pitching and timely hitting.
With a mediocre offense?
See,
this team's probably in first place in the American League right now.
You're right. Last year they got timely hitting.
They did.
All right.
And they got good hitting. I mean, it wasn't just timely, it was good. They had good hitters on
Those
the
guys aren't performing this year.
They're not. You're right.
Right, but you know what?
With an average offense, this team would be in first place.
Yeah, but you know what? When they signed them, they didn't think they were going to perform anyway.
True.
You know, so the thing is
I think they thought Napoli would perform until the whole hip thing. But, I mean, I think when they first gave him the 313, they thought he was going to be a right-handed power hitter that's rare in the league
right-handed
right now.
power hitter for Fenway Park. Right, they signed up for that. Right.
For anywhere.
Right. But here's the thing. You don't bring in a guy like Kemp to with that big contract because it goes against what your plan was.
I suppose, yeah. Talk LA into eating some of the money. I don't know. I mean, there's it might not happen.
It's not gonna happen.
But then again, we've talked LA into weirder things than that. Like the initial trade that gave them all those people.
I don't think this time's going to happen. By the way, the Dodgers right now are, they are
not great, Bob.
No, they're doing great.
They're doing good, I know.
Yeah, the Giants. What happened to the Giants?
They are not great, Bob.
The curse of Lincecum. You got that no-hitter, and they've been dead since.
I know. I don't want the Red Sox to turn into the Giants.
They are one game up. They're 47-36. They already turned into the Giants.
I know. They kind of have.
They already have.
Well, no, they have to fall off hard this year, and they have, but the season's not over yet. We won't know if they're the Giants till the end of the season. They're on their way. 603-883-9900. That's your phone number, 883-9900. You can text in 50352. And Tom King, I had so much fun last week with the, believe it or not, subject of strange athlete deaths that I'm doing it again. Mysterious athlete deaths is the topic of Christians, believe it or not, and it's coming up next year.
Should I round up the boys?
Yeah, go get them. Get everybody in here and get a comically oversized magnifying glass because you're going to have to do some detective work next here on Christian and King.
Steak and cheese fans, listen up. Quiznos Subs on Main Street in Nashua just came out with the Vince Special, which is a large spicy steak bomb for only $8.49. You get actual black Angus steak with Genoa salami, mozzarella, sauteed onions and peppers, and chipotle mayo. So grab the Vince Special, large spicy steak bomb today at Quiznos on Main Street in Nashua.
Quiznos Subs, toasty.
The Nashua Silver Knights offer the best baseball experience in all of New Hampshire. The tickets are cheap, there's plenty of food and drink available, and the kids absolutely love it. Come down Thursdays for dollar draft nights, every Thursday night throughout the season. There's always fireworks on Friday, plus there's a kid zone and entertainment between innings. It really is a great place to watch a ball game this summer. For scheduling and more information, log on to NashuaSilverKnights.com.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Colin Cowherd.
I don't buy Carmelo Anthony going to the Bulls, not because the Bulls aren't really, really good. I picked them to win the title this year, and then Derrick Rose got hurt, and they shipped off Luol Deng. What Chicago did yesterday, they had this big sales pitch for Carmelo Anthony, and I think that's great, and I think that works in college. But I think historically, pro sports is show me the money, because a kid, by the time you get to the NBA, you've played since you were 7 years old, you're now 27 years old, and it's a short shelf life. You can be a doctor for 40 years or a teacher for 50, but you can't play NBA for more than about 13 to 14 before you physically start falling apart. And I also think that Carmelo Anthony learned a lesson. When he moved from Denver to New York, he figured out that you don't want to force a team to give up draft picks and force a team to move people, because you'll get to New York or get to Chicago and you won't have the players around.
Hurry into Lowe's for this week's great deals, including 10 to 30% off major appliances $3.99 and up. Plus, get 18 months special financing when you use your Lowe's consumer credit card. Stop into Lowe's for these and other savings to help you update your home and get ready for a much-deserved long weekend. Lowe's, never stop improving. Offers valid 7/3 through 7/7. Exclusions apply. Purchases with a Lowe's consumer credit card subject to credit approval. See store or lowes.com for details.
I commute from Schenectady to Manhattan. It's about a 6-hour round trip on a good day. But it's cool. My family loves it here. And I love books on tape. So...
Life is a long drive. Make sure your car is along for the ride. Mobile Super Motor Oil is formulated to help prevent sludge and protect against wear. Mobile Super for long engine life. Now at Advance Auto Parts, get 5 quarts of Mobile Super conventional motor oil with a DriveWorks filter for $18.99. See store for details. Certain restrictions apply.
Any golfer would love to gain some extra yards with every swing. Well, now you can gain a little bit more with every purchase with the AutoZone Rewards program. You can stop in, sign up, basically get paid to shop at AutoZone. You'll receive exclusive members-only incentives and special promotions on what you buy the most. And the more you shop, the more you save, plus free to join. So there's really no reason not to. You know, AutoZone's experts can help your dollars go far. Now you'll be able to stretch them even further. So what are you waiting for? Get AutoZone Rewards. Get in the zone.
The Hanover Street Chop House is taking fine dining in the city of Manchester to a whole new level. We know about the food, the hand-cut steaks, the chops, the fresh fish, but now you can eat like a king at lunchtime as well with their new business lunch, which features 3 courses for just $15. Sip some wine at the piano bar or check out the new Raw Bar every Thursday. It's the Hanover Street Chop House, 149 Hanover Street in Manchester. Place your reservation at 603-644-CHOP. That's 644-2467, or visit HanoverStreetChopHouse.com.
Wendy's presents Summer in a Bottle.
Wow, I just want to put this day in a bottle.
Been doing that for years. Here's 05, 07.
Okay. Do you ever capture summer in a bowl?
That's silly.
Not when it holds a fresh-made summer salad with sweet strawberries.
Listen, I'll trade you the summer in 98, which is primo, for that salad.
You know what? It's got a crack in it.
Well, it was a wild summer.
Try Wendy's new strawberry-filled salad with sweet strawberries, crisp bacon, and warm grilled chicken on fresh greens.
Now that's better.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time.
Please salute our brave men and women fighting overseas for their support of the USA. This salute courtesy of Handyman Home Improvement of Wyndham, serving us with quality and pride for over 17 years. This year, don't move, improve the value of your home with Handyman Home Improvement. Call 603-498-6792. 498-6792. That's Handyman Home Improvement, saluting our troops this 4th of July.
You like sports? We've got it all right here on ESPN New Hampshire. Scores, standings, trades, and rumors. This is the ESPN New Hampshire Sports Center.
The Boston Red Sox were swept by the Chicago Cubs, but not before Mookie Betts had his first Fenway hit, which was a home run.
And a righty pitch. Swing high, fly ball left field. This one may go. High, and gone into the monster seats. Mookie Betts with his first major league home run. He crushed it deep into the monster seats and left.
Corey Aldridge of the New Hampshire Fisher Cats beat the Reading Phils last night. Aldridge hit a 3-run homer. He'll look to do it again tonight when the teams wrap up a 4-game set in Reading. First pitch at 7:05. The Nashua Silver Knights return to action tonight, weather permitting. They're at home for Hometown Heroes Night at Holman Stadium, taking on the Seacoast Mavericks. You can listen to all Silver Knight home games all season long on our sister station, WSMN 1590. And the Boston Bruins signed goaltender Jeremy Smith. And don't forget, next Saturday, it's a NASCAR Sprint Series race at Loudon. Tune in to ESPN New Hampshire all next week for chances to win tickets. I'm Rich Flair, and this Sports Center update has been brought to you by Waldman Plastic Surgery and Dermatology. Just mention ESPN New Hampshire for a free cool sculpting consultation and visit them at Waldman Plastic Surgery and Dermatology.com.
Local sports talk for the New Hampshire sports fan. This is ESPN New Hampshire, Christian and King.
So 388-883-9900, your phone number 883-9900, text in 50352. Christian and King here, ESPN New Hampshire, streaming live on ESPNNHradio.com and on the ESPN Radio app, which is free for you to download for your smartphone or your tablet. And it is just about 4:30, little after, which means it's time for Christian's, what?
About 4:30?
2:30. I'm looking at the 14:30 here, sorry. I'm on military time, because of NAM and everything. But, it's 2:30, and it's time for Christian's Believe It or Not.
Ladies and gentlemen, step right up. It's Christian's Believe It or Not.
All right, Christian's Believe It or Not is a game we play every Friday right around 2:30, except today's Thursday because we don't have a show on Friday.
So we're going to play it at 4:30 on
And we're going to play it at 4:30 on Friday or something. I don't know. It's almost vacation, and we're almost there. Deep breaths, Tom King. Nick Anastas is here as well. Hello, Nicholas. How are you?
Hello, sir.
No Rich Flair today. He's very busy being Rich Flair in the other room somewhere. Said he can't do it.
He's Rich Flair, and we're not.
And we indeed are not. All right. Last week, you guys will remember that the theme of Christian's Believe It or Not was mysterious athlete deaths. Well, I enjoyed that topic so much that I went with it again for another week.
It wasn't.
All right.
It wasn't?
Yeah, it was when the guy was throwing the rocks at the.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that was 2 weeks ago with Brisker and the other guy.
Yeah,
anyways, I'm doing a repeat category is the point. So shut up.
At the wrong time, the wrong time when he did the topic. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know.
See, then it'll whip our behinds in this game. I know.
Indeed.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Strange athlete deaths, mysterious athlete deaths. You can text in your answer to 50352. Which one of these two stories is true and which one you think is false? All right, here we go, boys. We'll start with story number one. In 1972, one of the ugliest sports moments in history unfolded in the form of a brawl between the Minnesota Golden Gophers and the Ohio State Buckeyes basketball teams. The brawl began when Minnesota player Corky Taylor kneed Ohio State center Luke Whitty in the groin after a flagrant foul. Taylor was suspended for the rest of the year. Believe it or not, after Taylor was excused from the basketball team, he dropped out of Ohio State and moved to Cleveland, where he helped two of his childhood friends open up a nightclub. The night of the nightclub's grand opening, Taylor never showed up. The next day, friends went to his apartment and found it untouched. Taylor was declared dead in 1984, but his body was never found and his cause of death never realized.
Wow.
That's story number one.
It's going to happen to me someday.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Praying to God every night. So far, he's ignored me, but someday, maybe. Here's story number two. Harry Decker was a major league catcher who played 4 seasons in the late 19th century on several different baseball teams. In his career, Decker amassed 5 home runs and 49 runs batted in, but he is mostly known as being credited by the Society for American Baseball Research, or SABR, as the inventor of the catcher's mitt. Nick and Tom, believe it or not, around 1910, Decker was arrested and imprisoned at San Quentin, where he served 5 years. However, after his release in 1915, Decker simply vanished. Many believed he continued his life of crime under an alias or variety of aliases. Some believe that he was murdered, but nobody knows where or how he died, and nobody knows where he's buried.
I need it again.
You want to hear them both again?
Let's go right through.
All right, text in your answer to 50352 if you think you know this one already. If not, here is a quick recap. What is that? What is it?
Black flag.
Ant
to
killer.
kill ants.
Yeah.
We have ants?
No. He brought, Sensabella brought it in here when I was
Spray
sick.
down the mics, dude.
When I was sick.
Ah, that's not what you're supposed to spray.
Right, but he thought that it would just,
That's like a poison.
Right, exactly.
You don't spray poison on a microphone.
He wants to get rid of it. In other words. All right.
You can spray poison on Tom King's microphone, but please don't on anybody else. All right, here's story number one once again. 1972, the brawl between the Minnesota Golden Gophers and Ohio State Buckeyes basketball teams began when Minnesota player Corky Taylor. Do you remember that brawl, by the way, Tom?
I will not comment until after the answers.
Corky Taylor kneed Ohio State center Luke Whitty in the groin after a flagrant foul. Taylor was suspended for the rest of the season. Believe it or not, after Taylor was excused from the basketball team, he dropped out of Ohio State and moved to Cleveland, where he helped 2 childhood friends open up a nightclub. The night of the club's grand opening, Taylor never showed up. The next day, friends went to his apartment and found it untouched. Taylor was declared dead in 1984, but his body was never found, and his cause of death was never realized. That's story number 1. Story number 2, Harry Decker, a catcher in the major leagues, played 4 seasons in the late 19th century. Where's my music? In the late 19th century on several different teams. In his career, Decker amassed 5 home runs and 49 runs batted in, and is credited by the Society of American Baseball Research as being the inventor of the catcher's mitt. Believe it or not, around 1910, Decker was arrested and imprisoned at San Quentin, where he served 5 years. After his relief in 1915, Decker simply vanished. Many believe that he continued his life of crime under a variety of aliases. Some believe that he was murdered, but nobody knows where or how he died, and nobody knows where he's buried. Tom King and Nick Anastas. Believe it or not.
It's a tough one. Go ahead, Tom.
I do remember that brawl. In fact, after the end of the hour, or not the hour, but at the end of the episode, I will tell you a famous athlete who was involved in that brawl.
I already know.
Yes, I know you do. Nick doesn't. So, I think somebody did die who was involved in that brawl, and I'm not sure if it was Taylor or not, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go 1 true, 2 false.
This is one of the tougher ones you've had in a while, Christian. Very nice job.
There's no reason to doubt either one.
There's no reason to doubt either one. Wouldn't surprise me if somebody involved with a nightclub disappeared overnight. That would not surprise me. I don't know. I'm going the other way, though. Give me 2. Give me 2 true. Because it's a lot easier to disappear 100 years ago than it was 40 years ago.
That's true.
I'll go 2 true, Christian.
Final answers, boys?
Final answer.
1 true. Nick and Astis, 2 is true.
2 is true. All right, I'm going to let the texters text in their answers at 50352. Oh, wow. Texters in Manchester saying right now that the thunder is booming up there. Like it's the storm already started.
Supposed to be in
blue skies here.
Yeah.
Supposed to be.
It's a little overcast in Nashua, but it is not. Yeah.
But the afternoon is what's supposed to happen. Last night was evening that ruined our game. It's supposed to be way out of here by then.
Okay. So. All right, texts are coming in. 1 is true. 1 is true. 1 is true. A lot of people thinking 1 is true. Along with Tom King.
Probably
Nick
wrong.
Anastas says the opposite. He says that 2 is true.
Probably wrong.
I think you're right.
And since this is Tom King's game, Tom King saying the Minnesota story is true.
Yep.
Nice job, Tim. Nick Anastas comes away with the victory for the first time in a while, and he is absolutely right. The second story about Corky, what's-his-face, Corky Taylor.
That was good logic that it's easier to disappear 100 years ago.
Totally, and that's exactly it.
The athlete who was involved in that brawl, Dave Winfield.
Dave Winfield, he was, and he punched the guy.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
And the thing about that brawl, which a lot of people don't necessarily remember, is that it was all black kids attacking all white kids.
Whitty was a white kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they were all, and Ohio State was mostly white guys on that team. And Minnesota was, what was the coach on the Minnesota team? His son is a coach now. Musselman. Yeah, Bill Musselman was the coach, and he just let him run wild. I mean,
thought somebody died who was involved in that brawl. I thought it might have been Taylor.
Nope, it wasn't. I just happened to be, I was talking about that brawl the other day, and I thought maybe I'd incorporate that one in today. But the Decker story is interesting because there is a small faction of hardcore baseball nerds.
Think he's alive?
That are trying to figure out what happened to him.
Yeah.
And these people are relentless. I mean, they're digging up old patents for the mitt. Like, he invented the catcher's mitt, first of all, which is amazing.
Right.
I think that this, baseball playing
Just gangster
basically was
Aaron
also like, here,
Hernandez,
how about a catcher's mitt? It doesn't say what he got arrested for. I'm not actually sure, but he only served 5 years. So
See, I
anyway,
always thought, the brawl.
and then he just disappeared.
See, that brawl was true, and I remembered it. So I said, well, most of that.
I remember
stuff
hearing
is
about
right.
it.
Yeah,
I remember hearing about
the
it.
catcher's mitt thing. I thought, you could have pulled that out of thin air.
No, but the only reason I even heard the guy Decker's name is because those people, the Sabre people, the Society for American Baseball Research.
Yeah.
There's like 4 or 5 guys who work for Sabre whose like life goal it is to figure out what the hell happened to Harry Decker. And I think that's really funny. I mean, it's just so random. Right? But, you get these things in your head. And
life goal is to make my vacation miserable
That
now.
is indeed the life goal. Nick Anastas, well done,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Tom
About time.
King, you can have that one floating over your head all vacation. I hope you enjoy it.
I
There
lost
you go.
3 in a row, back on the winning side of things, and Tom is going to be a sore and sour old man at the game tonight. Thinking about that,
Which
loss.
is not much, not unlike any other night.
I was going to say, even though I won, I'd be a sore and sour old man at that game.
All right, thank you, fellas.
All right, Nick and
What are
Astis,
they
ladies
doing?
and gentlemen.
What are they doing? This game's dragging.
Are you on? Are you and Jim on today, by the way, Nick?
Yes, they are.
Yes, you are. Okay, yes. Jim Sensabella's show, Nick and Astis will be on with them coming on in about 20 minutes here. All right, 603-883-9900, your phone number, 883-9900. Shoot us a text at 50352. We can try and sneak you on here if you'd like to say something before we leave for the weekend, for the long weekend, and Tom King for the long week. Get it in now. We'll try and sneak you on.
I might take the month off.
Christian and King. We'll be right back.
I'm Will Selva with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Arbitrator Stephen Burbank has sided with the Saints in ruling that Jimmy Graham can only be considered tight end for the purposes of his franchise tag designation. Graham had filed a grievance arguing that he was used as a wide receiver often enough to qualify for the more lucrative receiver tag. Under the tight end franchise tag, Graham will earn $7 million this season. If ruled receiver, Graham would have been paid $12.3 million. Kiko Alonso's season is likely over before it even began. The Bills linebacker suffering a torn ACL in his left knee while working out in Oregon. General Manager Doug Whaley said that Alonso will require surgery in a statement released by the team Wednesday. Jets running back Chris Johnson telling NFL.com that he is confident that he will be the Jets' primary ball carrier in 2014. Said Johnson, I'm pretty sure if I'm making plays, they're going to want to keep handing the ball off to me. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Napa know-how! Napa supports the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. And this month, we're making it easy for you to show your support too. Make any $25 purchase, and you'll receive a free Napa racing cap. For every cap we give out, we'll donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund, supporting those who serve you. That's Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 7/31/14.
Just how versatile is Pro Bond Advanced from Elmer's? Well, you can use it on wood.
Use it on wood.
And it also works great on metal. It works on stone. Even glass. Pro Bond Advanced from Elmer's. It's the non-toxic, non-foaming, weatherproof adhesive that's strong enough for any job, indoors or out. Pro Bond Advanced from Elmer's. Find it at a retailer near you.
If you haven't been to Canopy Lake Park lately, you're missing out on a whole lot of affordable fun. Canopy has something for every member of your family, with over 85 rockin' rides, cool games, and awesome attractions. All for one low admission price that covers a full day and evening of family fun. And the best part? Canopy Lake Park is so close by, you'll want to visit again and again.
Celebrate summer at Canopy Lake Park in Salem, New Hampshire. Scream on our wild roller coaster, Untamed, and watch the spectacular fireworks on July 3rd, 4th, and 5th, weather permitting. Plus, don't miss Canopy's live tribute to Madonna, tribute to One Direction, and tribute to Michael shows. Find discount coupons at participating McDonald's, Market Basket, Tedeschi food shops, and Rite Aid locations while supplies last. Canopy Lake Park is located in Salem, New Hampshire, off exit 2 or 3 from Route 93. Parking is free. For directions, hours, and show details, visit canopy.com.
So come on, take your family to Canopy, just for fun.
Cool Sculpting is a breakthrough non-invasive procedure that noticeably eliminates fat without surgery. Cool Sculpting targets and freezes fat cells, causing their natural death in the treatment area. No incisions, no downtime. This is not a weight loss solution, but the results will last as long as you maintain a healthy lifestyle. Is Cool Sculpting right for you? Mention this ad for a free Cool Sculpting consultation and visit Waldman Plastic Surgery and Dermatology.com or call 603-577-5559 today.
You're listening to Southern New Hampshire's home for the Boston Red Sox, ESPN New Hampshire. Scores, standings, trades, and rumors. This is the ESPN New Hampshire Sports Center.
Next Saturday is the NASCAR Sprint Series race at Loudon. Brian Vickers, who won the race last year, knows he has to make some adjustments if he wants to repeat.
You obviously always feel good coming back to the track. You've won to an extent, but everything changes so much. I mean, because of all the new rule changes this year to the new car and the no ride heights, I mean, none of the setups the same. So it's not like, we can just throw in last year's setup and go fast. I mean, we have to adapt and change and find a new package to win, just like everyone else.
Make sure you tune in all next week for chances to win tickets to next Saturday's NASCAR Sprint Series race at Loudon. The Boston Red Sox are off today, and then they'll welcome in the Baltimore Orioles for a 3-game set over the weekend. The Nashua Silver Knights are home, and it's Hometown Heroes Night at Holman Stadium. Make sure you get there, and if you can't, you can listen to all Silver Knight home games on our sister station, WSMN 1590, with award-winning play-by-play announcer Nick Anassis. The Boston Bruins signed goaltender Jeremy Smith, and the New Hampshire Fisher Cats look to win this series over the Reading Fighting Phils 3-4 first pitch at 7:05. I happen to think he's a very excellent play-by-play announcer. Thank you very much. This Sports Center has been brought to you by Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time.
Not great, Bob. This is the sports station with granite roots. This is ESPN New Hampshire, Christian and King.
Oh, yeah. Christian and King. Just about out of here, Tom King. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get home as you begin your vacation?
I don't think you begin my vacation.
Oh, yeah, you don't till tomorrow. Okay.
I have a game tonight.
Once you get out of that game tonight, what's the first thing you're going to do? And don't say take off your pants, because we know you're going to take off your pants first. What are you going to do after you take off your pants?
Put my bathing suit on.
Aha. And then jump in the pool. And hope you don't get struck by lightning. You know, that's one of my great fears every time I go up to the lake, is I'm worried I'm going to be swimming and then a thunderstorm's going to blow in. I'm not going to see it in time.
Yesterday,
I'm going to get shocked and die.
That storm was blowing in.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the clock to see when I really should leave for the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at the sky to see if it's, if there's any lightning that's going on yet. And I'm making a calculated decision. Do I have time to jump in the pool for even just 30 seconds?
Yeah.
And I decided that I did, and I cooled right off, and the rest is history. No light, and I'm swimming in there saying, you know what? How apropos would this be if I die in the pool? The lightning hits.
You've talked a lot about your own death today.
I know.
I know. You really have.
Oh,
What's going on with you?
I don't know.
Is it the constant barrage of coughing and emphysema? I think it's probably has something to do with
This
it.
is awful, isn't it?
I hope it would. I hope it would clear up by now.
I
But
know.
you've been coughing since the day I met you, basically.
No kidding.
The
know
texter
why?
saying, I
You
just
know
saw
why?
animals lining up 2x2 to board a large wooden boat in Manchester, I guess. Noah sailing by in the ark
it's that bad there, huh? Jeez.
A water polo match just broke out
Wow.
on Elm Street. Meter maids doing the backstroke and swim lessons canceled at indoor facilities. They've now all been moved outside. So there you go. Apparently, it's raining very hard in Manchester right now. But
I guess so.
I'm about to go drive through it, so good for me. But yes, that is always, for some weird reason, every time I'm up there in the lake, I always worry that lightning's going to strike the.
That's what I was saying when I was swimming in the pool. Yes, I was saying, what lightning could hit, and I could do the old flare a sizzle,
Yeah. That'd be sad.
He's so proud of that sizzle, isn't he?
How long, if you got struck by lightning in the pool? I know he always talks about this.
I know.
If you got struck by lightning in the pool,
yeah, Rich, I liked it 3 days ago too. When you asked me that, then.
Here's the question now: your vacation starts tomorrow. Say you died in the pool tomorrow. How long before anybody found you? Till the end of vacation, until you had to be back here, probably, right? You need more friends, Tom.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to open up a little bit. Let more people into your life.
Well,
your cat's not saving you in the pool.
No, actually, somebody would find me because they come to maintain the pool.
Ah, ha, ha, the
my
pool
buddy,
boy.
my buddy Hank, the pool guy,
Gotcha.
comes to maintain the pool.
All right.
He was just there this morning. Plus, maybe my neighbors might see me from the next door.
Oh yeah,
they might take a peek over.
They're looking over the fence.
Yeah, they might.
What's
they
that
might
smell over there?
Yeah,
at King's
exactly.
house?
It
smells like sizzled beef.
I think it's if something happens to me inside the house, I think that's when you got to start to worry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, then it's going to be when the animals are scratching or whatever.
It's not going to be pretty
something like that. Anyways, let's get to Can I Finish, taking you into the weekend.
Can I finish? 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 Please, can I finish? I can't answer your question unless you let me finish.
Hold it there, cracker boy. I'm not finished.
Tom King, how big of the biggest New Hampshire Fisher Cats fan is how big of a New Hampshire Fisher Cats fan would you say? How big of a fan would you say their biggest fan is?
Well, it would be somebody who goes to all the games.
Goes to all the games.
Every single game.
Knows all the players.
Yeah, exactly.
Is also probably a Blue Jays fan, too.
Probably, well, maybe. I don't know. Not necessarily. Probably
well, you kind of do if you root for them and then they go on to the
maybe
majors.
host one of the players, too. Who knows?
Okay. Well, however big that is, how many New Hampshire Fisher Cats fans do you think have the New Hampshire Fisher Cats logo tattooed somewhere on their body?
I bet there's one or two.
I would say maybe one, maybe two, maybe.
At two at the
Probably zero.
Two at the max.
I would have to imagine you would have to be so into a minor league team. Because no player's going to do it. Because you don't want to get that tattoo. You want to get the tattoo of the team in the majors that you play for.
You'd be surprised how people get into some of these minor league
I
teams.
suppose you're right. Anyways, the AAA Syracuse Chiefs are giving away free tickets for life to fans who get the logo tattooed on them. How about that? Mary Kelly of Syracuse had lived 54 years without ever thinking about getting a tattoo. She said, I wanted to get one when I was 50. I decided not to. It was the type of tattoo. What would you get? The Syracuse Chiefs answered that for her on Tuesday. Kelly, one of 36 Chiefs fans who got a team tattoo at Carmelo's Ink City. I'm not kidding. It's called Carmelo's Ink City. In Syracuse.
In Syracuse, well, oh my God. He might be he owns it.
Could be.
I know it.
In exchange for free general admission to home games for life. I bet he does. I bet he was sitting there thinking, I'm not going to let the NCAA bust me over a tattoo. I'm opening a tattoo parlor, and I'm going to call it Carmelo's Ink or whatever it is. Carmelo's Ink City. So the promotion was an overwhelming hit as fans started lining up outside MBT Bank Stadium at noon to get one of the certificates for the ink art. By 6 p.m., the waiting rooms and hallways of Carmelo's were overflowing with fans waiting their turn. Some, like Kelly, were getting their very first tattoo. Others added the Chiefs mark to a gallery already started. I batted back and forth a couple of times, but why not? Kelly said, pondering the decision. This is cool. I love the Chiefs. I've been a baseball fan all my life. It's an extension of that. Now, if I had a bunch of tattoos and some baseball teams said, get a tattoo and you can get free tickets for life, I'd say, sure, I already got like 50 tattoos. Big deal. If that's my first tattoo, wow.
You know, the Chiefs, that's another minor league team that's been around forever.
Forever, you're right, yeah.
They were the Yankee Farm Club when I was growing up.
Yeah.
AAA.
If the Giants said you could have season tickets on the 50-yard line for life, you got to get the NY blue and red NY tattoo.
I'd say that's okay. I got a media pass and I also have DirecTV.
True. All right. Is there anything you could do that would get you to tattoo yourself?
Nothing.
Even if it meant oh my God, look at that car. Look at that car. Quick, turn. Look. See that?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Nice car.
That was a great car.
That was a nice car.
What about One Night with Kate Upton? Yeah,
no tattoo.
What about all you can eat buffet? Aha, see, the eyebrows go up. Now he's listening.
Connect
folks.
the dots.
What if it was for a free lifetime all you can eat buffet at your favorite restaurant, but you had to get a tattoo with the restaurant logo on you?
Connect the dots.
Is that a yes?
Well, if you connect the dots, you got to draw something on me, right?
What? That's not how tattoos.
Connect the dots, you got to draw something on. I don't know how they do them.
You get a picture.
Nah, nobody's touching me. No.
Even if you get free food from your favorite restaurant for life.
Nobody's touching. Because you know what? I'll get fat. That's when I'll get really fat.
Yeah, but you're already old. Who cares?
Yeah, I know, but still.
Might as well eat and have fun. No, you put the tattoo somewhere no one will ever see it.
That's true. I don't know. Yeah,
I smell some sort of contest here. I feel like this could work some way. Anyways, that's my Can I Finish? Tom King?
You know, this happened I was literally 5 minutes after we left a couple days ago because we were asking about it. Monarchs have a new coach.
Oh.
Mike Stothers.
Oh, that's not the guy they were talking about.
No, Mike Stothers is the head coach of the Manchester Monarchs.
Wow.
Spent 30 years as a professional in pro hockey. Recently served as the head coach of the Moose Jaw Warriors.
The Moose Jaw Warriors, my favorite.
I'm a big Moose Jaw Warriors fan.
Love me the Moose Jaw Warriors.
3 seasons. Before that, he was the head coach of the in the Ontario Hockey League of the Owen Sound OWEN Sound Attack.
Okay.
Where he was with
Sound Attack. What a horrible name that is.
He was with one of the Kings front office people, Mike Fuda, who's their director of player personnel in the Ontario Hockey League. So he's got some ties there. He's also with the Grand Rapids Griffins, 2007-2008. And he's with the big boys. The NHL is an assistant coach with the Thrashers in 2010, 2011, and with the Flyers in 2000 through 2002. So he's been around hockey.
Indeed. All right.
Still, there's new head coach
Jim
of
Sensivel
your
is here.
Manchester Monarchs.
Jim, what do you got today, quickly?
We got Tim Britton coming on from the Providence Journal
Very
joining
nice.
us. Jack Edwards from Nesson's
All right.
joining us.
Tell Jack hi. We love Jack.
I will. I'll tell him you said hi. And lots of hockey crazy stuff going on. Lots of guys moving, chucking, and driving.
It's all, most of it's all done.
I love it. No, don't pull the air out of my sail. I love
It's
hockey.
all done.
That's, have you met Tom King? That's what he does. All right, that is our
Bruins
show.
aren't going to get anybody, Jim.
Want to say
Stop
thanks
praying
to
for it.
Mark.
It's not happening.
All right. Want to say thanks to Mark Herzlich for jumping on with us at 1 o'clock. For Tom King, I am Christian Arcand. Everybody have a great, happy, and safe long weekend. And I'll talk to you on Monday. Tom King won't talk to you for a while.
I'll never talk to you again.
Later.
I'm ready.